In this video, we're going to talk about the logic of significance testing, or also called hypothesis testing, but I'm just going to call it significance testing. So let's start with a distinction between two reasons that things might go together, things might correlate. Sometimes things correlate just by chance. For example, it might be that over some period of time, maybe even over the course of your entire university education, how well your friend does on exams correlates with how well you brush your teeth in the morning of her exams. So it might look like this. When you brush your teeth for a small amount of time, let this be 10 seconds, she does a very bad grade. She gets 20%. When you brush your teeth a bit better, 20 seconds, she gets like 45%. When you're up here brushing for a good 50 seconds, she's close to 100%. Then you can see that there's a strong relationship. Not to suggest that 50 seconds is long enough to brush your teeth, but you get the idea. When you forget to brush, she gets 0. When you brush very badly, she fails very badly. When you brush pretty well, she gets a B. When you brush exceptionally well, she gets an A, and so on. And let's just suppose that this correlation holds by chance. It's not that you brushing your teeth causes her to do well, or brushing longer causes her to do better. It's not that you forgetting to brush or brushing shorter causes her to do poorly. It's not that there's some other common cause, like maybe when you both go to bed early enough, you do better on exams and you're more likely to brush your teeth. There's none of that. It's just dumb luck. It's just pure chance that your brushing of your teeth and your friend's exam scores go together. So what does it mean to say they hold by chance? Again, it means that your brushing doesn't affect her performance doesn't affect your brushing, and there's no common cause. There's nothing that causes both. And more generally, there isn't some other kind of interesting explanation. Now, you might wonder what other kind of interesting explanation there could be, aside from one causing the other, or something causing both. Well, they could be identical, right? Suppose that teeth brushing and exam scores are just the same thing. Then of course they're going to go together. That's just one example of another kind of interesting explanation. Okay, how can things correlate by chance? Basically, it's a big world. There's lots and lots and lots of stuff happening. So you're brushing your teeth, your friend's taking exams, but those aren't the only two things happening in the universe. There's all sorts of things happening. Maybe you tap the wall before you go to bed. Maybe sometimes you remember to turn out the lights and sometimes you forget. Maybe sometimes you walk slower when you come home and sometimes you walk faster. Any one of these things might end up correlating with your friend's exam scores. You might not notice it, but there might be a correlation. And that's just because there's so many things happening that sometimes two things will correlate for no good reason, just because there's a lot happening. So sometimes things correlate even though there's no interesting pathway, direct or indirect, from one to the other. Correspondingly, sometimes things correlate for a period of time, and yet you shouldn't expect them to correlate in the future. And sometimes things correlate in a part of the world, and yet you shouldn't expect them to correlate in a bigger part of the world. And this point reflects a key question. This will be the key question that significance testing aims to answer. When you see things correlate for a while, or in a part of the world, should you expect them to correlate going forward, or in some bigger part of the world? And as I said, significance testing aims to help you answer this question. It aims to determine whether things that correlate by chance, correlate by chance, or instead correlate because they are related in some deeper way, maybe causally, maybe conceptually, whatever it is. Correspondingly, significance testing aims to determine whether you should expect things that correlate for a while or in a part of the world, that is, in your sample, to continue to correlate going forward or in some bigger part of the world. Okay, so that's what significance testing is, and we'll stop this video there, and in the next one we'll consider the logic of significance testing.